Netflix's Karma is a dark and gripping Korean thriller that explores how one man's desperate actions trigger a deadly domino effect, pulling multiple people into a twisted web of crime, betrayal, and revenge. The story begins with Park Jae-young, known throughout most of the drama as the debtor, who is overwhelmed with financial pressure and fear, as he owes a massive debt to a ruthless loan shark who threatens to kill him if he doesn't pay up by the deadline. Feeling trapped and hopeless, Jae-young devises a shocking plan to murder his own father in order to collect life insurance money. He approaches a colleague from work, Gil Ryong, a tough and dangerous man with a shady past, and hires him to carry out the killing in exchange for a share of the insurance payout. Gil Ryong, however, decides not to do it alone. He secretly involves an old friend named Kim Beom-jun, a con artist who later becomes known as the Witness. Beom-jun sees this situation as a perfect opportunity to pull off an even bigger scam. Instead of simply killing the father and collecting the money, he and Gil Ryong plot to use the father's dead body in a con to blackmail a third man, a nervous, anxious guy nicknamed Glasses, real name, Sang-hun, who happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Beom-jun orchestrates a situation where Glasses believes he has killed someone in a hit-and-run. Beom-jun rides up on his bike just as Glasses accidentally hits a man with his car. What Glasses doesn't realize is that the victim was already dead. Beom-jun offers to help Glasses bury the body but secretly records everything, planning to use the footage as leverage. He demands 10 million won to keep quiet, and though Glasses pays up, Beom-jun's greed only grows. He continues demanding more money, and when Glasses refuses, Beom-jun kills him, disposing of his body and eliminating a loose end. Meanwhile, Yoo Jong, Beom-jun's childhood friend and longtime partner in crime, plays a crucial role in getting Glasses on the road that night. She pretends to be in distress and lures him away from his motel, making sure everything lines up for the fake accident. Yoo Jong and Beom-jun have been running scams together for years, and this is just another job for them until everything begins to unravel. As the plot thickens, identities begin to shift. After killing Glasses, Beom-jun takes on the debtor's identity to hide from the police, believing he can escape his past by becoming someone else. But what he doesn't know is that Jae-young's debt is very real, and by assuming his name, Beom-jun inherits the same threats. The loan shark who was hunting Jae-young now comes after Beom-jun, not realizing that the real debtor is already dead. Things go from bad to worse when Beom-jun ends up hiding in an abandoned building with both Gil Ryong and the real Jae-young. In a moment of panic and rage, Beom-jun stabs Gil Ryong, sets the building on fire, and attempts to kill Jae-young in the process. The fire spreads quickly, leaving Beom-jun badly burned. He is rushed to the hospital, where a crucial twist occurs. Dr. Lee Ju-yeon, a brilliant but emotionally scarred doctor, sees Beom-jun's name on the hospital records and remembers him instantly. Years ago, when she was a teenager, Beom-jun raped her, an act that ruined her life and left her with deep psychological wounds. Recognizing him now as the man who assaulted her, she tells her fiancé, Dr. Yoon, who is also the doctor assigned to Beom-jun's case. Dr. Yoon has no idea about the man's true identity but knows that this is the debtor, the same man who owes a massive amount of money and has no one coming to save him. In an act of quiet revenge and moral judgment, Dr. Yoon kills Beom-jun by harvesting his organs, effectively ending the life of a man who had caused pain to so many. As the show moves toward its bloody finale, the connections between all 6 main characters become clearer. The debtor, Park Jae-young, sets everything in motion with his plan to kill his father. Gil Ryong agrees to help in exchange for money, then involves the witness, Beom-jun, to help cover it up. Beom-jun uses the situation to manipulate Glasses, who is lured out by Yoo Jong. After the witness takes on the debtor's identity, Dr. Lee recognizes him as her rapist, and her fiancé, Dr. Yoon, ends up being the one who kills him. Every character is tied to one another, and each of their fates is sealed by their actions. In the end, only one of the 6 main characters survives. Glasses dies early on after being manipulated and then killed by the witness. Gil Ryong is stabbed and dies in the same fire that severely burns Beom-jun. The debtor, Park Jae-young, also dies in the fire after trying to run away from the chaos he created. Yoo Jong is attacked and dies as well, showing that even those working behind the scenes are not safe from the consequences. Beom-jun dies in the hospital after assuming another man's identity and being killed by Dr. Yoon. Dr. Lee Ju-yeon is the only main character left alive, and her survival is symbolic. She finds justice and a small measure of peace by seeing her rapist finally held accountable in the most final way. Karma delivers a strong message. No matter how far you run or how carefully you plan, you can't escape the consequences of your actions. The title itself reflects the central theme of the show. Each character, regardless of motive, meets their end based on the wrongs they committed. The debtor's greed, Gil Ryong's violence, Beomjun's manipulations, Yoo-jong's lies, Glass's cowardice, and even Dr. Yoon's moral grayness all lead to a story filled with tension, betrayal, and haunting conclusions. The entire plot is told through a series of flashbacks, revealing layer by layer how each event connects. This storytelling method keeps the audience guessing and slowly uncovers the dark truth behind each decision and its consequences. What begins as a simple plan to make some money turns into a complex tragedy where everyone pays the price. The performances of Park Ha-soon as the witness, Shin Min-tae as Dr. Lee Ju-yeon, and Lee Hee-jun as the debtor are intense and emotionally charged, grounding the show in realism despite its dramatic twists. In many ways, Karma isn't just about crime and punishment, it's about how trauma spreads from one person to another, how pain can turn into revenge, and how sometimes people make the worst choices simply because they believe they have no other option. It's a cautionary tale about morality, desperation, and the thin line between victim and villain. With its dark atmosphere, layered characters, and slow-burning suspense, Karma stands out as a must-watch K-drama for fans who enjoy psychological thrillers with emotional depth and shocking twists. The final moments, where Dr. Lee walks away knowing her attacker has finally paid, leave a bittersweet sense of closure. Everyone else may be gone, but the ripple effects of their actions will haunt the memories of those left behind. In the end, Karma isn't just a story about death, it's about the inescapable consequences of every choice we make and how even the smallest decision can change everything forever.